Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pachari Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Satam Amagyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Sakarya Chakshuruntam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Dadati Swapadam Vandeham Shiguru Siddhapadakamana Shiguru Vaishnavamsya Sirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sarananda Shri Sakamritam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Visabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 14. Title, this is Ideal Family Life. Text number 2. 7.14.2. Narad speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj. This is like continuation, the conversation after the narration of Prahlad Maharaj's story. Have you seen the movie Maha-Avatar? Vidya? Maha-Avatar. It's about Lord Nrsimhadev. Yes, Netflix. Yeah. We went to Delhi. We have to go and took a car, 2.5 hours to go to see the movie in Delhi, and then we have to go back 2.5 hours back to Vrindavan. Would have been nice to see that in IMAX, right? Widescreen and almost 3D. So if you have your database, or you can Google it also, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 14, text number 2. Sinarada Uvacha Grihesu Avastito Rajan Kriya Kurvam Yatochita Vasudevarpanam Shaksha Upashita Mahamuni. Okay, somebody else. Srinarada Uvacha Grihesu Avastito Rajan Where is Yogi? Where's Yogi?
Upashita Mahamuni
Srinarada Uvacha
Vasudevarpanam Sakshat Upashita Mahamuni Srinarada Uvacha
Srinarada Uvacha
Eshu
Avastito Rajan
Kriyaha Purvanyatochitaha Vasudevarpanam Sakshat
Vasudevarpanam Sakshat
Mahamuni
Upasita Mahamuni. Wanna try? Srinarada Uvacha Yeshu Avastito Rajan
Kriyaha Purvanyatochitaha
Vasudevarpanam Sakshat Upasita Mahamuni. Ryan, you want to try? Srinarada Uvacha Yesu Avastito Rajan Kriya Kurvam Yatochita Vasudevarpanam Sakshat Upashita Mahamuni. Word for word meaning. Srinarada Uvacha Sri Narad Muni replied, Griheshu at home, Avashtita staying. A householder generally stays at home with his wife and children. Rajan, O king, Kriya, activities, Kurvan, performing, Yatochita, suitable, as instructed by the Guru and Shastra. Vasudeva, unto Lord Vasudeva. Arpanam, dedicating. Sakshat, directly. Upashita, should worship. Mahamuni, the great devotees. Narad Muni replied, My dear king, those who stay at home as householders must act to earn their livelihood, and instead of trying to enjoy the results of their work themselves, they should offer these results to Krishna Vasudeva. How to satisfy Vasudeva in this life can be perfectly understood through the association of great devotees of the Lord. Everybody, please repeat after me. My dear King,
Dear King,
those who stay at home
those who stay at home
as householders
as householders
must act to earn their livelihood,
have to earn their livelihood
and instead of trying to enjoy
instead of trying to enjoy
the results of their work themselves,
the results of their work themselves.
they should offer these results
They should offer these results
to Krishna,
to Krishna,
Vasudeva.
Vasudeva.
How to satisfy Vasudeva in this life
How to satisfy Vasudeva in this life
can be perfectly understood
can be perfectly understood
through the association
through the association
of great devotees of the Lord.
of great devotees of the Lord.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The format for Grihastha life should be dedication to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, text 1, it is said, Anasrita karma palam karyam karma karoti ya sasanyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir na chakriya. Quote, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obligated is in the renounced order of life. And he is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no work. Unquote. Whether one acts as a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, or sannyasi, he must act only for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. This should be the principle for everyone's life. Narad Muni has already described the principles of life for a brahmachari, vanaprastha, and sannyasi. And now he is describing how a grihastha should live. The basic principle is to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The science of satisfying the Supreme Lord can be learned as described here. Sakshat Upashita Mahamunin. The word Mahamunin refers to great saintly persons or devotees. Saintly persons are generally known as munis or thoughtful philosophers concerned with transcendental subject matters. And Mahamunin refers to those who have not only thoroughly studied the goal of life, but who are actually engaged in satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. These persons are known as devotees. Unless one associates with devotees, when one cannot learn the science of Vasudeva Arpana, or dedicating one's life to Vasudeva, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In India, the principles of this science were followed strictly. Even 50 years ago, I saw that in the villages of Bengal and the suburbs of Calcutta, people engage in hearing Srimad Bhagavatam daily when all their activities ended, or at least in the evening before going to bed. Everyone would hear the Bhagavatam. Bhagavat classes were held in every village, and thus people had the advantage of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, which describes everything about the aim of life. liberation or salvation. This will be clearly explained in the next verses. Hmm. Okay, let me read text 3 also, just the English translation. A grihasta must associate again and again with saintly persons, and with great respect he must hear the nectar of the activities of the Supreme Lord and his incarnations, as these activities are described in Srimad Bhagavatam and other Puranas. Thus, one should gradually become detached from affection for his wife and children, exactly like a man awakening from a dream. Okay, let me read the purport, very short. Yata kalang means at various times, such as the afternoon. Hmm. Being surrounded by persons with controlled minds, he should constantly, abhikshnam, listen
Recording
to
in progress.
topics of the Lord. This means he should not listen to other topics at that time. He should become detached from wife and children from whom he will naturally be separated. Just as on awakening from a dream, one becomes detached from sons or wife seen in a dream. Huh, the same thing. Hmm. I was reading the commentary. Oh, let me read, okay? Prabhupada says, the Krishna consciousness movement has been established to give grihastas all over the world an opportunity to hear Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita specifically. The process, as described in many ways, is one of hearing and chanting Shinvatam Sokata Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana. Everyone, especially the grihastas who are mudhadhi, ignorant about the goal of life, should be given opportunities to hear about Krishna. Simply by hearing, by attending lectures in the different centers of the Krishna consciousness movement, where topics of Krishna from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are discussed, they will be purified of their sinful inclination for constant indulgence in illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling, which have all become prominent in modern days. Thus, they can be raised to the status of light. Punya Sravana Kirtana, simply by joining the Kirtan, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And by hearing about Krishna from Bhagavad Gita, one must be purified, especially if he only takes prasad. This is all going on in the Krishna consciousness movement. Hmm. Quite a long purport. Hare Krishna. Shinanada Uvacha Griheshu Abashritu Rajan Kriya Kurbam Yatochita Vasudeva Arpanam Shakshat Upashita Mahamuni. So there are four stages in the spiritual life. Uh, there are also four divisions in the social status, like how we act in the material platform. Sudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya, and Brahmana. However, in the spiritual platform, there are different stages, which starts from brahmachari or the student life. Student life, they're meant to cultivate knowledge, celibate, and they are under the tutelage of the spiritual master. Usually, as brahmachari, they go to the gurukul from the age of 5 till 25. These are for the boys. The girls, they are being taught how to be very good in taking care of household chores. How to cook, how to take care, clean house, clean the ashram of the parents, and so on. Then there is the brahmachari, then grihastha. Yes, grihastha, the householders, is an ashram of responsibility whereby it's a learning ground how to become detached. We'll talk about that later. Then the vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means retired life. Usually this is at the age of 50. Yes, 50. The husband and wife can still be together, but no more physical contact, and they will go travel to many, many different holy places, mm, try to become more and more absorbed, and eventually, because the husband uh, will take sannyas. And sannyas means the renounced order. Usually, this is around at the age of 75 years old, when the children are already grown up. mm, the retired life, that means husband and wife, they prepare ultimately to be detached, ultimately. So now, there's a question here from text 1, whereby Yudhishthir Maharaj is inquiring, kindly explain, he was asking Narad Muni, O great sage, kindly explain how we who are staying at home without the knowledge of the goal of life might also easily attain liberation according to the instructions of the Vedas. So this is the natural tendency, especially in Kali Yuga. The householders are very much entangled in materialistic pursuit that they will forget and become more absorbed in spiritual life. Very often we'll be asked, Maharaj, how do you balance? We are grihastas, we are householders. So how do you balance material life and spiritual life? As householders, one is meant to work, because without working, how can you maintain your family? Especially if you have a big family. Uh, One is not so easy to maintain. How about two? More difficult. How about three kids? How about four kids? Some families, they have like 10 children. How do they survive? Yes, you have to earn millions of pesos. If you don't earn that much, oh Krishna, what's going to happen? Hmm? Everyone will be complaining. Especially the children, they will not get proper education. How are they going to grow up? Hmm. So the householders, they have to also earn some money. Huh? They have to have some ways how to support the family. So how do you balance this now? Because the goal of life is, as we were mentioning last night, Atato Brahma Jignasa, to inquire about the Absolute, to end the cycle of repeated birth and death, to not to take birth again in another species of life, next life. So, but we have to spend more time in working. I know there's this one devotee in America. He told me that when he first time he came to America, he's an IT, information technologist. That means he's into computer. And he was working for 16 hours. This is 16 hours. He told me, Maharaj, I'm in the computer for 16 hours and I have to do everything there. If I'm going to eat, when I'm supposed to eat, and when I'm really hungry, I have to eat, my wife will be feeding me while my hands are clicking the keyboard. But now I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson now. I don't have to be like this kind of slave. Mm, because the employer, they're taking advantage of the ability, the expertise. He is working equal to three men, three employee or employees, three personalities or three workers, equivalent of one. That's why he's working 16 hours. So after that, no. I am missing my Mangal Arctic before coming to America. I don't have time to do my puja. I don't have time to chant my rounds. By the time I'm finished work, I'm completely crashed. Hmm. So how we balance this, especially the householders, the grihastas, during our travels, their main complaint is that, Maharaj, I don't have time. I don't have enough time. Oh yes, everyone has time. Everyone has 24 hours, but not enough time. I work. When I go to work, my kids are still sleeping. And when I come back to work, they're also already asleep. So I don't have time, even for my children. Sometimes they will tell their Pitaji, you don't have time for us. Come on, let's go out. Hmm. So time is of the essence because each and every one of us, equally, we have 24 hours each, but we have to utilize it properly. We have to value time in such a way that every moment counts. That's why in the material world there is a saying, time is money. Yeah, the materialists, they value so much time. So devotees also has to value their time, even though they have to spend a small amount of time of their 24 hours, but it should be a priority to spend some time in spiritual activities, namely having Mangal Artik. Prabhupada says Mangal Artik is not only for the brahmacharis and sannyasis. Mangalartik is also for the grihastas, especially because their life is so fast moving that if they miss Mangalartik, Prabhupada says also, no Mangalartik, no spiritual life. But there is a concession for the grihastas or householders. in such a way that it is done in a short form. Unlike in the temple, we have a different standard. So the Grihastas also should have a standard, but not the compromise of not doing it. We all have to do it. It's like our brahmacharis in Vrindavan. Some of them, they get up so early. They will chant their rounds before Mangalarti, or at least half of their rounds before Mangalarti. In Vrindavan, we start Mangalarti at 4:10, Prabhupada's Samadhi Mandir. And then we go move towards the temple room, 4:30. Uh, but at least, I know in the Philippines, the sun rises around 6:30 in the morning, 6:20. I think right now it's around 6:20. The night is shorter than the daytime because it's winter time. Mangal Brahma Muhurta hour is an hour and a half before sunrise. That is the most auspicious time, the most conducive for spiritual practices, which means that Grihastas should start their day at 5 o'clock. Even the children here, they go to school, right? Quarter to what? Quarter to seven? Quarter to seven. So what time they get up? They have to get up early also. I've seen some students by 5:30, they're already walking towards school in Batangas. It's still dark. If they can get up early because they're performing austerity for their education, similarly, the normal person should get up early to practice spiritual activities, their spiritual life. Yes. Perform Mangalartik means worshiping the Lord. Ideally, Grihasta should have deities, but not in the extent that they will spend 3 hours worshiping them. I know some devotees, they don't have time. They don't work. I mean, they work, but their work, they are flexible. They are the boss, their own boss. So they can work in their whatever time, but they will spend like 3 hours worshiping the deities. That is too much. If you have deities at home, at least our Guru Maharaj also, he says half an hour, 45 minutes max. When Mangalartik is like short form. You don't have to like go, uh, one will lead and one will respond. Everyone can sing together. That is good also. That is acceptable. Because if you do the whole routine, it'll take at least what? Almost 1 hour. But that should be quality time. That 1 hour out of our 24 hours, that is only the morning program, half an hour to 45 minutes. And still then we have to chant our rounds, especially those who are initiated. We made an agreement at the time of initiation to our spiritual master to chant minimum 16 rounds every day, not maximum, minimum. So how to do this, especially those who goes to work, like say a 9 to 5 job. How to do this? So Prabhupada says at least one should chant 8 rounds before breakfast. So what do you do with the rest of the 8 rounds? You chant while driving, Hare Krishna, Hare. Oh, stop like Hare Krishna, Hare. No, no, no. That is extra rounds. That is not counted in your 8 rounds. Prabhupada says one can chant 4 rounds before each meal. So that means before lunch or during your lunch break, you chant your 4 rounds and then you take your prasadam. And then before dinner, you chant your 4 rounds before dinner time. So in this way, you'll be able to finish your rounds. And chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is easy. Prabhupada says, chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is easy. But to chant without any offenses, to chant attentively, that is difficult. That's why when I chant, sometimes even when your eyes are open, then like you get distracted. You go here and there. So most of the times when I chant, my eyes are closed. Can you chant in the shopping mall? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Can you chant like attentively in the shopping mall? Of course not. Your chanting is only alphabet. It's not possible because the eyes can capture. There is a saying, out of sight, out of mind. Yes. So these are like basics that we have to learn, especially the householders. And what to say if you have children? Oh, that becomes more difficult now. Well, grihastha life, householder lives without children is not complete. Something is missing. Without children, no, it's not complete. So especially when you have a toddler, what's a toddler? Infant, huh? Will cry all night long. Is the opposite. They sleep in the daytime and they are awake at night. Is that true? Is that true? Pamela? Yeah? So what are you gonna do? Are you be able to sleep? No. So for how many years will that be like that? What, 1 year, 2 years, maybe 3 years? I don't know, at least 1 year. So your schedule is upside down. And then during the daytime, because you have to go to work, then you're sleepy on the job. And you don't want to be caught by your boss being sleepy. You'll be, what's that, demoted. Demoted. That means you're probably going to get fired. So, those who stay at home must act to earn their livelihood. And instead of trying to enjoy the results of their work themselves, they should offer their results to Krishna Vasudeva. Yeah, there's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita. It's a yajñartat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Tad artam karta, tad artam kunteya mukta sangha samachara. Hmm? Work done as a sacrifice, is to be done as a sacrifice for Lord Vishnu. Otherwise, one's work will bind one in this material world. Well, so practically 99.99%, they only work in such a way that binds them more and more, entangled them. They become more and more entangled in this material world. Was that isang kahig, isang tuka, right? They just live for the day. Tomorrow they don't know what's going to happen. That's what the meaning of isang kahig, isang tuka. They just live. They work to live by, or they live just to be alive. They don't have plans for after death. They may have plans for their children, but do they have plans what's going to happen after death? So at least first they have to save themselves, then they can save their children. It's like I gave that example a few times. It's like when you fly, the air hostess, they will uh, demonstrate to you just in case there is a loss of oxygen. The oxygen mask will pop out from the ceiling. And then what do you do when the oxygen mask will come? Because there's no oxygen. You put the oxygen to your children first or to yourself? To yourself. Because you may not have time to put it to the child. So first, be the best you can to be Krishna conscious. The parents. Yes, the Srimad Bhagavatam says, don't be a king, don't be a teacher, don't be a spiritual master, don't be a parent if you are not sure that you are able to deliver your subjects from the cycle of repeated birth and death. If you're not sure, which again, it says in the Bhagavad Gita, sex I am not contrary to religion. So if one just want to have children for the sake of having children and not be able to take care of them, to be not to take birth again, so it's better not to have children. Because ultimately, the purpose of life is to please Lord Vishnu. Work is a sacrifice. That means to please Lord Vishnu. Yagyavai Vishnu. Yagyavai Vishnu. Like when we do yagya, it's a sacrifice. So we're trying to please Lord Vishnu. That fire is considered to be the mouth of Lord Vishnu. That's why when we put grains, we say swaha, swaha, swaha. So our life should be like that, to please Lord Vishnu, to everyone, not just the father or the mother, but the children also, to please Lord Vishnu. Then one's life becomes perfect. Otherwise, how to do this? That's why we need the association of Mahamunis. It says here, Mahamuni. Mahamuni is a great devotee, or Mahamunin, plural, great devotees. All devotees are great, even in the neophyte stage. Why? They're better than the best karmi. The worst devotee is better than the best karmi. Hmm. Even in the neophyte stage. is considered to be a Mahatma. At least he's on the path of complete surrender. May not be immediate surrender, but ultimately one will surrender. So, how do we come to that platform of full surrender? Is because by associating with those who are surrendered. Hmm. It's like Prabhupada says, if you want to be a drunkard, what do? You stand by with magiinom also. Then you'll become expert in no time, right? Stand by sa, sa kantuhan. There's a song like that, right? Yeah. So if you want to be serious in bhakti, then you also should, as much as possible, try to associate with those who are also serious. There is a saying in English, huh? Tell me who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are. Yeah, yeah. So you can tell, you can just ask, who are you? Who's your friends? Oh, okay. Then you can tell immediately. So association though is very rare. How? What to do? It's like if you're living in a remote area like Kalashao or Mangatarem. How are we gonna get association? Well, in these days and age, uh, it's not so difficult. You can just open your computer or your cell phone and you can have darshan of Vrindavan. Right now is like Guru Puja time in Vrindavan. Not even Guru Puja time because we're 2.5 hours away. So you can just put ISKCON Vrindavan in YouTube, and then they can see. You see the devotees. Uh, you can hear the Bhagavatam. 8 o'clock Bhagavatam class in Vrindavan is like 10:30 our time. So you put on your headphone and then you can see, you can hear. Or read Srila Prabhupada's books. That is association of pure devotee. Read Srila Prabhupada's books. Or if you live a little bit far away, then maybe in festival times, go visit the temples or in the weekends. And mostly make your home like a temple. This is the Grihastha. Grihastha ashram means Krishna is the center of their life, and therefore all of their activities are centered for Krishna's pleasure. That children has to be taught like this right from the very beginning while they're still young. Prahlad Maharaj says at the age of 5, one should start spiritual life because toddlers, below 5, they don't have much understanding. But we can see here the young girls offering obeisances. She may not know why she's doing it, but she is seeing the devotees, she is seeing her mother offering obeisances. So it's easy for her to learn by showing our example towards them. And then eventually they grow up, you don't have to tell them. Like in India, the children, once they see their parents bowing down to the deities, immediately also the children will follow. their parents. And sometimes they will ride at the back while offering obeisances. Did they do that to you also? Huh? When they were young? Huh? Your twins, they will do that. Once you start doing that, they will climb on your back while you're offering obeisances. Yes. So we also try to suggest that the Grihasta should have at least 15-20 minutes of kirtan, reading a sloka from Srila Prabhupada's books. Especially, it says here, at the end of the day. Did you remember that purport? We read it. Huh? At the end of the day, don't look at it. I read it. I just remember now. At the end of the day, that means when everyone is home, before like going to sleep, let's say after dinner, to digest the prasadam, hmm? Do a little bit of kirtan and read from the Krishna book. Yeah, even they're still young. That is the best time, according to Prahlad Maharaj. So, our main concern should be about transcendental subject matters. And because of our busy schedule, we don't have much time. So, make the best out of your 24 hours to spend a little bit of time in cultivating spiritual activities and associate with devotees. So sometimes when we say, Maharaj, I don't have any association, what shall I do? I'm alone. So make yourself some association. In such a way, you can invite your friends. You can invite your co-workers. You can invite your relatives. Do some spiritual activities, introduce them in Krishna consciousness. So, in this way, very soon, you'll have some association. You can ask your classmates in school, hey, have you heard about yoga? I've been reading this for a long time and it helps me a lot. How to keep calm, how to be peaceful, how to be satisfied and happy. Why not? You want to learn about this also? I'll show you. There you go. You make your own group of association. Um, Activities whereby you'll be able to make progress and help others also to make progress in spiritual life. So, this is a very interesting um, subject because this chapter 14, seventh canto, chapter 14, explains about ideal family life. 99% of our members are grihastas, householders. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Grihastha ashram is the best ashram in Kali Yuga. You learn how to become more responsible. You'll learn how to become more detached. Grihastha ashram is not meant for sense enjoyment. It's an ashram. It's an ashram of responsibility, gradual process. Eventually, you'll be detached. The main reason why we are still in the material world is because of family attachment. That is what the Srimad Bhagavatam says. I'm not making it up. Because family relationship is only as long as I have this body. After this, I don't have any more relationship with my present family. We may see each other again, yes. If we're all Krishna conscious, we'll see each other. We may recognize each other, who knows? But that'll be difficult, isn't it? But we're all children of Krishna. Prabhupada says there is another ISKCON in this spiritual world. So the attachment should be focused on Krishna. Krishna first, then family second. What's that mean? Simultaneous. But Krishna, more priority. Yeah, it's not family first, then Krishna second. Then you cannot be simultaneous there. So be Krishna conscious first, and then make your family Krishna conscious. If you're absorbed with the family life, not possible to be Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna. I don't have any, well, I have a family, but means I don't have a wife, I don't have any children, like, blood. But we are having this realization because we've been encountering many grihastas during our travels, and based from what we've heard from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Says here, thus one should gradually become detached from affection for his wife and children, exactly like a man awakening from a dream. So it's like a dream state. When we woke up after the dream, the dream is still lingering there. But after an hour, it's gone. Nakalimutan na. It's not there. But when you're dreaming, it is as if real. When you're dreaming, it's like, oh, the tiger is about to, gnarls you, eat you alive. And you're like, sometimes it's like a nightmare. You'll be shouting. It's almost real. Prabhupada says dream is like part of our karma. We receive part of our karma through dreams. Not all the times, but once in a while. It is almost real, but it is not. Because it is temporary. So family life is temporary. Family life is only in this lifetime. But the relationship, having Krishna as a center, is eternal. That is the difference. Okay, I'll stop here. Any comments or questions? A very interesting topic, isn't it? Unfortunately, those boys are not here. Oh, yes. Well, that's good. They should hear this class. Any question or comments? Yes, Prabhu.
It's an additional to what you said, actually, isang kahig, isang tupa.
Isang kahig, isang tupa. Yes?
They have actually updated it now. I heard in the song. Actually, the isang kahig, isang tupa is a song. There's a new song. It says there that tatlong kahig, isang tuka.
Tatlong kahig, isang tuka.
So it made it worse
Yeah, three jobs so that you can eat.
once.
Yes.
Getting worse and worse.
Kali Yuga progresses, it becomes more and more difficult. You know, no, if you're not educated, oh Krishna, like a regular laborer, that's three kahig, isang tuka. That's why we want our children to have a nice education. I know some devotees, they will send their children to UK, to Paris, to US, and the father will work so hard, and the children are not Krishna conscious. They're favorable, but they're not chanting. Who knows what they do over there? And you work so hard as a devotee. That is 10 kahigs and 1 tuka for the children. That is really, I mean, are you going to stop working? No, because you're still hoping that someday that the child will become a devotee. But that is their karma now. If they don't, see, at least the children's reciprocation towards the parents who work so hard for them is that they follow. No, once they go to college, it's like Hare Krishna. That is the start of them. Their karma is like going in a different direction. At least they should be in the same. What the parents are trying to do for them, they should be in the same wavelength. Now the kids, they have the tendency to go, to run away as soon as possible. And this is the kind of reciprocation you get from the children. And this happens even in the family of devotees. What to do? We are not responsible for their karma now. And they cannot blame the parents for whatever will happen. So at least the reciprocation of the children is to follow what the parents, Krishna conscious parents says. Yes. Any other points or comment? Bolo.
Just want to make comment.
Mm-hmm.
We tendencies to forget what we just heard, Mark. I think the only way is to have constant reminder. And
Reminder,
as
yes.
said in the verse that the Mahamuni,
Mm-hmm.
the devotees, they come and they remind.
Yes.
So that is, it has to be constant because sometimes, not sometimes, but all times, you tend to forget that,
Yes.
ashram should be silent and Krishna. So from time to time,
Yeah. That's true. But if we always be reminded of what our spiritual master says, or what Srila Prabhupada says, um, we may have the association of devotees not frequently, that will keep us aligned. If we keep reading Shrimad Bhagavatam every day, this is what will keep us alive. This will what will keep us afloat in Kali Yuga, not be so much affected by the signs of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is the best also, the best age. It's considered to be the worst, but it is the best because of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because of Srila Prabhupada, because of our Guru Maharaj, because of these great, great personalities. So that's true. We are forgetful, but we should always remind, it's like Prabhupada says, I never considered that I'm always, uh, I always feel that my spiritual master is always besides me. Because as long as we're following his instructions, then we are with our Guru. The moment we deviated, then we become separated. It is not the fault of the spiritual master. It is our whimsical mind trying to speculate, trying to make different plans. But the plan is already chalked out for us. The direction where we're going is already given. So not to step one step out, always, always there. So yes, not so easy, but yeah, it is difficult, but it is possible to always remind ourselves, especially when we perform Mangalarti and we chant our rounds, and when we read Prabhupada's books, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and then once a year, try to go to the Holy Dham and recharge your spiritual battery. It's like, there is a rechargeable battery you put on the radio or your computer. It needs to be recharged. Otherwise, it'll die out. So going to the Holy Dham and search for these personalities. This is what the Bhagavatam says. When you go to the Holy Dham, you search for holy, holy men and hear from them. So yes, it is possible, but you are correct also. We can forget so easily. Any other points? Questions? Krishna Krishna Prabhu? Hmm? So we stop here. Anyone? Any more points? Narayan Prabhu, you want to say something?
We are reminded to be a person of to be Krishna's priority.
Yes, Krishna. Every time Krishna is priority, then everything will become auspicious. Everything will fall into its place. Yeah. So thank you very much. Maraming salamat. Oh, who? Oh, we have some Mahaprasad? Yeah, from Vrindavan. Come. Hari Om Tat Sat. Dhanyavad. Hari Bo. Okay. Hare Krishna.